Hey guys, welcome to the Next Level Mamas podcast. I'm here to encourage and empower you to create a life that you love as you head toward your own next level. Now, let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to Next Level Mamas podcast. We are on podcast number 8. So exciting. Yes, I am working on all of my goals and I've about gotten them all laid out for this next year. Now, when I say all laid out, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that I know exactly how each one is going to go each day of the year. Now, to better explain, I'll start by saying that I have a vision of where I will be this time next year. I begin it with the wording that I use, and I actually picture myself on December 31st, and I say what I have accomplished. An example for me is I have published 52 podcasts. What is that goal? Well, it's to publish one every week. Now, why couldn't I just say that? That would make sense. But there's a little bonus next level power in stating it as already a done deal. I have done it. I have published 52 podcasts. Now, that is casting my vision of what I want to create. Another one for me that I have is I have had 24 special dates with my daughter. Now, that can be coffee, lunch, hanging out, playing games. It can be absolutely anything that I am with my daughter having special time and we are sharing our lives together. We have talk time. It can be really just talking and connecting as women, because that's part of one of my relationship goals is that time with my daughter. That is roughly 2 a month is the goal I'm setting. So I'm not so over the top that I'm like, I have to have you every week, that is my goal. But I'm going to settle for at least, if I can get 24 this year, then I feel that will be just amazing. Now, another example, I have run at least 1 mile each day of the year in 2023. Now, that is just a fun fitness challenge for myself, just to keep me from getting bored, because I do a lot of fitness and just doing the same thing over and over. This is just a little bit different, new, just a better feeling with this one. I like it because it will be a challenge. Now, I'm going to allow for sick leave as needed. I'm not going to I'm never hardly sick. I'm not going to push myself if I am really on the couch down and out. But I know myself well enough that I'm going to push myself if I feel a little puny. I'm not going to use any wind blowing the wrong way or a bad mood to go, oh, I just don't feel like it. I'm going to push myself to absolutely try to do it every single day. I have a level of self-love, and that is important for that kind of goal where you're pushing yourself, because you don't want to drill sergeant yourself there, if that makes sense. You want to do it out of love because you really are excited about getting that goal done. Anyhow, another one I'm doing is not a year-long goal, so this will be a little bit different wording, but it is still in the form of I have done it already. It is, I have started and finished my 2022 scrapbook album by March 31st. Lastly, for all my examples I'm giving today is I have a crafting club that meets once a month. I don't have a club yet, but this is one of my goals, to create and launch and do a craft club just for fun. Now, I don't have to have it 100% figured out, but I can go to that place in my mind and just hang out there a little while. Now, instead of like a hot tub time machine, maybe I'll use a treadmill time machine and imagine while I'm walking. I can say my goals in the format like they're already done. Now, the examples I gave, which are really 5 of my goals, I have published 52 podcast episodes. I have spent 24 hangout dates with my daughter. I have run a mile or more every day of the year. I completed my 2022 scrapbook by March 31st. My crafting club was initiated and has met once each month. Now, after I state them and write them down, then that's where I'm going to spend a little bit of time there. How will I feel when those are accomplished, I think I will feel amazed and proud. I'm for sure going to be joyful and feel connected to my daughter. I'll have a level of determination and toughness. I know at the end of the 1 mile a day challenge, I will enjoy looking at my scrapbook throughout the year. Now, I will reminisce also about my monthly crafting groups, the way we worked out all the kinks of having some people meeting online maybe, while some people meet in person. I will really sit there and spend some time feeling those feelings and just daydream about it. Then I can get to work in the layout of how I will make each one happen. Where do I need to place the things on my schedule? I'll put them on my calendar and follow through. The final most important part, it is actually the most important part, it's how will I follow it, measure it, calculate my progress. That's where people get lost. They tuck their little goals away and then they just kind of forget about them, usually by February, or you've given up. Now, there's so many ways that I've done this to where I follow, measure, calculate. You just have to figure out what you need. Do you need accountability? Do you need to read and write your goals each and every day? I've done that before. It works. If you read it, write it out every day, it seems silly, but it's top of mind and you have it memorized. Now, do you need to create some sort of a tracking chart? Now, I love sticker charts personally because I'm a total goal nerd and I like to see visual progress. Now, habit tracking charts are also great for this. Now, I use a paper planner, and at the beginning of each month, I write down what I plan to accomplish and have completed at the end of that month. Then each week, I write down what I am doing that goes toward that accomplishment. I put things on the days I need to do them. Then at the end of the month, I monitor where I am and where I need to go for the next month. I never want to have my eyes off my goals. Now, I will use a habit tracker for the things like running, vitamins, flossing, that sort of thing, if I'm trying to get back on some habits or creating new ones. The thing is, it's just personalized and customized. You're setting yourself up for success and you know what works for you. And there might maybe some of these things you haven't tried, so you might not know that they will work for you, but these things are tried and true examples because I've used them myself. Now, if you always have your eyes on the goal, you're going to know when you're getting off track. Like a quick autocorrect can get you back on track. Okay, it's like the road trip analogy. I remember back in the days, I commuted an hour and a half back and forth to work in another city just 2 days a week. Now, I was a paramedic and we worked 24-hour shifts. So I would drive down there the hour and a half, then I would spend a 24-hour shift, then I would drive home. Now, we had sleeping quarters and there were 3 crews on each day and night. We took turns on calls, but sometimes there was very little sleep. I was also in nursing school at the time, and for another level of stress, I just had a lot of studying to do. I was also planning my wedding. I had a lot going on back then. I was young. Now, one day I was on that trip home, and I stopped halfway on the turnpike to get some coffee and snacks so I could stay awake. Then I got back on the turnpike. I actually started going in the wrong direction. Oh my goodness. I started going back to work instead of heading home. I totally blame it on the poor signage, which is hilarious. I remember blaming it on that, but I know I was just sleep deprived now. The point is that it took me about 10 miles or more to realize I was headed in the wrong direction. Then I had to find a place to turn around, which was quite a while, and then go back, and then go back the 10 miles to even make it where I was at the rest stop in the first place. We don't want it to take us that long to realize that we are going in the wrong direction when it comes to our goals. We want to notice immediately and turn that ship around to head into the direction of our goal. That being said, it is also totally fine to realize partway that the route you are taking is just not for you. If I pick every Thursday to be my day to spend an hour on my scrapbook, then I need to figure out within a few weeks, if I'm not able to do it consistently on that day, I may need to do 1 day a month where I spend 6 hours or something like that. The sooner I figure it out, the better. But especially since I'm wanting to be done by the end of March, I need to figure that one out real quick. But I won't figure it out until I get started. I got to start trying. There's no failure. There's only course correcting. There's also, you can decide to take longer to complete a goal. If I don't make it by the end of March, but I'm almost done, I'm going to still feel pretty successful if I get it done mid-April or the end of April. There's available for you an executive decision to just stop a goal. Switch it out if you want to. If I begin running every day and decide that I absolutely don't like it, I can stop. I could switch to biking, stair climbing, something else if I want to. I'm in charge. It's not to torture myself, it's to challenge myself. But I don't want to stop just because it's a little bit challenging. It's supposed to be challenging. That's the entire point of the whole goal. Now, I want to be at the end of this, I want to be the kind of person that can overcome a challenge. I will actually brainstorm why I want to quit and see if I just maybe need a better way or I need to make it a little more fun. Maybe I'm just having a hard week. If I have a hard week and miss out on some things, that's just 1 out of 52 if I don't work on my goal. That is nothing. It's such a small percentage. Things are going to happen. Life is going to hand us interruptions, but I know myself good enough and I know my intentions. I know my motives. I know my capabilities. And I know that my capabilities, are way more than I ever thought they were, and yours are too. If you need help looking at and setting up your goals, reach out to me on my Next Level Mamas Facebook page or my website. It's nextlevelmamas.com. I truly love to help people, and I believe that everyone has the same capabilities that I have. I am not a unicorn, but I've unlocked my belief in my potential. Now, there's a PDF with this podcast again. If you go to my website, nextlevelmamas.com/podcast, you can go and download, and there are some questions that kind of recap this and help you go through your own goals. It's just fun, and it's just for you. Now, go get those goals. Thank you for listening.